Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a great day. There is a lot going on. So obviously you all know that the markets took a crash yesterday. Not a crash, but took a serious freaking dip, I'll tell you that. Why? This is fairly simple. I haven't been speaking about it a lot, but there's a macro event that has not gone away. Remember Russia? Well, Russia decided to made it official and cut off Europe from their natural gas. Now, they had been playing games previous to this, shutting down the Nord Stream 1 pipeline. They've done it several times, and now they finally said, yeah, we're not going to do it. So what they'll wind up doing is selling that natural gas to China, and China will most likely turn around and sell it back to Europe. Either way, it's a long and hard process. Europe is going to get hit big. It's all a ploy by Russia to get Europe to kind of not do the sanctions. I'm thinking I think Europe is going to stick to those sanctions. The U.S. will probably wind up, shipping some natural gas over as well, and the world will try to eke it through as Russia continues on its crazy phase. We'll see what happens from there. But that was a macro event that had tremendous effects and still has ripples around the world. And that's going to continue. Like I said, Russia's war against Ukraine has not ended. It has continued. And it's seemingly so that it's going to continue for the foreseeable future. That means that those things are going to still remain in place. Right? Meaning everything that's being hindered by this, the effects on the food rations around the world, that's going to be affected. A lot of wheat comes out of Ukraine, or at least used to. So these are very big problems that the world has to grip with. And it's a very big deal. I mean, you have people coming from Belarus over to Ukraine to help them fight their war. Why? Because they feel that if Ukraine falls, Belarus would be next, right? Belarus, Poland, that's what everybody's looking at. So it's a very big deal. This is not a small thing. Something else that happened in terms of direct impact, you had 3 Arrows Capital get ordered by the court to liquidate their assets. Now, that's not going to make a lot of people happy. Think FTX and others. However, it's going to happen. So that news hit. Then you also had the news that I told you about yesterday, which was that Poolen dropped 4,400 Bitcoin. Now, that's not a lot of money, but it's about, it's close to 100 million. So that's a close to 100 million hit. The hit from 3 Arrows Capital is supposedly going to be about 250. So these are things that are going to hit the market and not feel good. How long is that? Don't know. You figure eventually they'll get into the market and keep going, right? Now, what's crazy is if you think about those things, I think those equate to being larger than anything that would stem from Mt. Gox, which would also be a very big deal. Again, Mt. Gox is special because you would have to stop and think about, well, do these people, when they get their money, when they get their coin, do they actually want to sell or do they want to hold? Depends on each person's respective situation, and we'll see what happens. I'm thinking a lot of people are going to hold. You'll have a lot of people that'll dump. You'll have a lot of people that'll hold. And I think that'll bring that number down significantly. So we'll see what happens with that. But, if the market has taken this kind of a hit, right? If the cryptos have taken this kind of a hit and they haven't buckled yet, makes me stop and say, you know what? Our market has legs. Because right now, can we go lower? Let's answer that question right now. Of course we can go lower. I said that before. Of course we can go lower. But the market right now has currently withstood everything that's going on. I mean, that's just a fact. The numbers aren't where we want them to be, but, they could be worse. We could have been looking at things that are, Bitcoin being at 17.6, which is currently the floor. You've already had some altcoins actually dive below their set floors. Remember, I was saying things like, Doge didn't like being below 6 cents. Well, it's below 6 cents. That happened. That was the thing. XRP, I think, didn't breach its low, but it came close. came back, but it came close. You had a number of coin. Shiba Inu took a hit. Happily, Doge is back up above 6 cents, but it took a hit. Matic did hit 80. I think it might have gone below 80 cents for a little while there, but came back. It's now at 82 cents. So these are things that I'm paying attention to from these macro events that are going on, especially since there's no huge news. Or is there? There's no huge news, but there's very interesting news. On the crazy side, India, that should not be a shocker. Look at my previous videos. India should not be a shocker. India is looking to actually stop non-custodial transactions or wallet-to-wallet transactions. Right? Sounds right? They want to know where your money's going. Really, folks? Good luck with that. Good luck with stopping that. That's big. They're looking for the financial stability board from the G20. Let me get that. I want to get that name right. Yeah, it's the Financial Stability Board from the G20. They're looking for a recommendation from them. Yes, that G20. A recommendation from them to figure out, is that ban something? So they would look at that as a global recommendation, and then they would do it. If that came out as a global recommendation, that would be a problem. That would be a major problem. Major problem. Right? That would put the kibosh on a lot of different things, I would think. I think the ripple effects would be non-custodial wallets and businesses would take a major hit. DeFi would take a hit. Decentralized exchanges could wind up taking a hit. You have a lot of things that would take a hit, possibly. Right? Where governments overstep, people find ways. I'm not saying that that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying that when the government oversteps, people often find ways. So that's a big deal. That would actually be a very big deal and have a crazy ripple effect. On the good news side, Blockchain Australia, looking to make moves in adoption, crypto adoption, has hired somebody who falls in that bucket of almost perfect hire for the space, right? I apologize, Miss Mercurio. Laura Mercurio's background includes immediately BlackRock. She's coming from BlackRock. She's a director there and going to be a CEO now. Previous to that, Merrill Lynch, Deutsche Bank, various government entities, various global blockchain companies. She's got the chops from both sides, from traditional finance and blockchain. That's big. That is really, really big. And the reason why I think it's really, really big is because she's one of those people that I can actually, drive adoption. She's somebody that others would definitely listen to. So I look at that move and I just say, wow, I am crazy interested in that one. Because that's a big move. I told you a while ago, who was it? Pantera had snatched 3 people. One of them has since quit within 2 months. Samuel Shah. But they had snatched 3 bigwigs from JP Morgan. I'm paying attention to moves, to snatches from traditional financial institutions over to blockchain-like companies or blockchain organizations. The reason why is because they come to the table with a lot of knowledge about how things work. Just looking at, regulatory compliance, they understand it. They come from that space. Know your customer, AML, anti-money laundering, all that stuff, anti-terrorism financing, all that stuff. They know this stuff. They're coming from a place where they know it, and it will wind up shoring up these businesses. At least I believe it'll wind up shoring up these businesses, maturing them. And that's pretty cool for the industry. That's very cool for the industry. Fast fact, little tidbit. I did not know this, did not even realize. Freaking Brazil. Holy moly. Brazilians spent in May almost $1 billion on crypto. I had to take that in. I really had to take that in because I knew it was a burgeoning market, but that's serious. Now you can see why Bybit was, playing too hard too fast, but you can understand why. You can see why Binance has, hired on the former president of the Central Bank of Brazil. Binance wants to make sure that they do everything correctly. FTX is interested in doing business in Brazil. Now you understand why it's a very, 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 very big deal. That market is, the word is burgeoning, but I feel like that's not enough, right? I'm just looking at that. Anyway, let's get to the numbers because they're not great, but I have to say, they are giving me a bit of hope. Let me just move this over here so you guys can see. And the reason why I say they're giving me a bit of hope is because I'm sitting back and I'm looking at everything. Let's give this one refresh, right? Yeah, there you go. The reason why I say it's giving me hope is because not everybody, but everybody this week just about has taken a hit. But I'm paying attention to, and this is what I was mentioning yesterday, I'm paying attention to who's taken a larger hit than others. Ethereum didn't take as much of a hit as Bitcoin. But Polygon took a crazy hit. To me, that's buying season. Because Polygon and Ethereum had a huge pop, right? That they never gave back. So they established a new high and they're bouncing around that new high. They're not coming back down from where they were. That's why I'm paying attention to the numbers, right? We all know my 5% rule. I don't pay attention to anything under 5%, right? So the 5% rule's right there, bam. But I'm not going to pay attention to that. I do pay attention to Pocket Network. Interesting, but not driving me. It was up the other day and now it's down 8%. Over here, Voyager up. Who cares? Wouldn't touch it. Helium up, but I don't know if I would touch it. Like it, kind of. They're going through some things right now. I would pay attention to that. Before I took a dive in, I'd probably want to play with Cadena first. Let me see who else is here that I'm paying. Quant is something I pay attention to, but they're in the 4% range. You know what I mean? They're below my 5% rule, so I don't know that I care. 5% and above we can pay attention to, but is there anybody here? Not really that I'm really interested in personally. Terra Luna Classic, yeah, you know my answer. I'm not even thinking about touching that. So you might want to consider that as a thing. Fear and Greed Index up to 24. So we're still in extreme fear, but we're at the higher end of extreme fear, and you can understand why. You have the macro events that happen. So again, to recap, you have Russia's stupid ass war. Yeah, I said it, and I'll stick with it. You have Poolen that just liquidated 4,400 BTC, and you have the court-ordered liquidation for Voyager. That happened. I'm sorry, 3 Hours Capital. That happened. Is it 3 Hours Capital or Voyager? Well, it's 3 Hours Capital, and I think something else is going on with Voyager. So you have with all that stuff, you just have a lot going on, and now we're below my inner band, but still above my outer band. And remember, my low for Bitcoin is 17.6, and we're not there. Looks like it's trying to fight back to get higher up. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. I don't know. To get a bigger picture, here's the bigger picture. Something that I've been listening to people pay attention to is the dominance of Bitcoin. Well, that has been dropping. It's at 30. You can see it right here. It's at 36.79. So that's a big drop. That means that you have more altcoins that are moving on their own, that people are looking at those projects as standalone. So you're having, less influence by Bitcoin. So that's big. Something else that I've been paying attention to is Matic. Why? It has a hard time existing below that 80-cent mark. Doge has a hard time existing below that 6-cent mark, except it did hit below 6 cents, but it got immediately back up. That was a buying opportunity, and I missed it. I missed it. Yeah, because I had to put my money someplace else, but I missed that one. But I don't beat myself up about it because I've done other things in the past that I was able to capitalize on. So I'm happy. XRP, another one, hard time coming in under 30 cents. So that to me is a big deal. XRP is actually running around talking about, there is news still swirling around XRP that they're helping organizations or governments explore CBDCs. It's meant for cross-border stuff. It's not really meant for person to person or small business to person. It's not meant for that. It's meant for cross-border transactions. That's why. And that's why I like it. It's dependable tech. Very dependable tech. Just to look at the list, I just wanted to see what was going on. You have a lot of green, but again, you don't have a lot of green in terms of, the past couple of days because of what's happened. Let's take a look here. Shiba Inu past 24 hours up 2%. That's not a lot. It's almost nothing. In the past 7 days, 1%. That's nothing. But you start looking at the trend. You start to see what's going on and how it's moving. I think the coins are standing strong in a current market. A current market that can absolutely go lower, but they've been standing strong. So to all those people that go, oh, it's a scam, oh, it'll go away, and this says otherwise. This says no, there are things going on. And being a part of the industry, I know that there are things going on. So I have more than just faith on my side. That's what I look at. Still looking at Polygon. Polygon, this makes me smile. They have a lot of stuff going on. Getting down here to Flow. Flow's got a lot going on. They had that pop that had brought them all the way up to $2.60 thereabouts, but they've dropped all the way down to $1.83. I will definitely say I think that's a buying opportunity because they've got a lot of stuff going on. Just do some research on Flow. I'm not going to tell you everything that they got going on, but they do handle NBA Top Shots. And that's their NFT marketplace. They've got a lot of stuff. Do your research on that. They've got some things going on. What looks good to me is the Sandbox as well as Decentraland. And the reason why is because they're both big. They both have a lot of things going on. And they're both under $1. That to me is a very big deal because I know they'll grow. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto. I hope you're having a great day. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and absolutely hit the notification bell so you know the next time I drop a video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.